Question. The minimum amount of liability insurance against property damage in Texas is option number 1, $25,000. Option number 2, $30,000. Option number 3, $60,000. The answer is option number 1, $25,000. Note: as of January 2011, the minimum amount of liability insurance is $30,000 against injury or death of one person, $60,000 against injury or death of two or more individuals, $25,000 against property damage. Question. While driving behind another vehicle at 20 miles per hour, how much driving time should you maintain between yourself and the car ahead? Option number 1, 2 seconds. Option number 2, 3 seconds. Option number 3, 4 seconds. The answer is option number 1, 2 seconds. Note: for speeds 30 miles per hour or less, the minimum time between your car and the one in front of you is 2 seconds with good road conditions. For speeds above 30 miles per hour, maintain a 4-second gap between cars during good road conditions. Question. A person driving with blood alcohol concentration that is dash or higher is considered legally intoxicated? Option number 1, 0.08%, 0.08%. Option number 2, 0.1%, 0.1%. Option number 3, 0.05%, 0.05%. The answer is option number 1, 0.08%, 0.08%. Note: if a person's blood or breath specimen results show a BAC of 0.08% or greater, their driving license may be suspended for 90 to 365 days for first offense. Question. When turning left from a 3-lane, one-way street, you should turn from the option number 1, right lane. Option number 2, left lane. Option number 3, center lane. The answer is option number 2, left lane. Note: if you are turning left from one-way street, you should turn from the left lane into the right lane, moving in the same direction. Question. While you are being passed, you should option number 1, maintain your speed so traffic will flow smoothly. Option number 2, pull to the right and stop so he can pass. Option number 3, stay in your lane. The answer is option number 3, stay in your lane. Note: when another vehicle is passing, number 1, do not increase your speed. Number 2, stay in your lane. Number 3, safely move as far to the right as you can when being passed on the left. Number 4, make it as safe and easy as possible for the other driver to pass. Question. What does it mean if a solid yellow line is on your side of the center strip? Option number 1, you cannot pass. Option number 2, you can pass. Option number 3, you can only pass if traffic allows. The answer is option number 1, you cannot pass. Note: if you are on the side with the solid line, you cannot pass other vehicles or go across the line. If you are on the side with the broken line, you can pass if it is safe to and you will not interfere with traffic. Question. What does a flashing red traffic light means? Option number 1, warns drivers to slow down and proceed with caution. Option number 2, warns drivers to use caution and to alert them the light is about to change to red. Option number 3, stop, look and yield before proceeding. The answer is option number 3, stop, look and yield before proceeding. Question. If you hear a siren coming while driving, what should you do? Option number 1. Keep driving until you see the vehicle. Option number 2. Yield to the emergency vehicle. Option number 3. Slow down but don't stop until you see it. The answer is option number 2. Yield to the emergency vehicle. Note: if you hear a siren, pull to the right edge of the road and stop. If you are unable to pull over to the right due to traffic, slow down and leave a clear path for the emergency vehicle. Question: if you are teaching a beginner to drive, you must. Option number 1. Be a licensed driver aged 21 years or older. Option number 2. Be a licensed driver aged 25 years or older. Option number 3. Be a licensed driver with 2 years experience. The answer is option number 1. Be a licensed driver aged 21 years or older. Note: to teach driving, one should be a licensed driver and must be at least 21 years of age with at least 1 year of driving experience. He must occupy the seat beside the driver and respond to the actions of the driver. Question: when you want to park near a corner, you may park your vehicle no closer than option number 1. 10 feet from the crosswalk. Option number 2. 15 feet from the crosswalk. Option number 3. 20 feet from the crosswalk. The answer is option number 3. 20 feet from the crosswalk. Note: whether occupied or not, do not park or allow a vehicle to stand idling within 20 feet of a crosswalk at an intersection. Question: you must give a signal either by hand, an arm or by signal device. Option number 1. At least 50 feet before turning or stopping. Option number 2. Anytime you change lanes. Option number 3. All of above. The answer is option number 2. Anytime you change lanes. Note: signaling communicates your intention when driving and helps other drivers around you to plan ahead. Signal continuously for at least 100 feet before turning or stopping, and be sure to turn off your signal lights once your turn is complete. Question: the lights on your vehicle must be turned on anytime during day or night time when persons and vehicles cannot see clearly for at least option number 1. 500 feet. Option number 2. 1000 feet. Option number 3. 1500 feet. The answer is option number 2. 1000 feet. Question: when the headlights must be turned on. Option number 1. 30 minutes after sunset. Option number 2. 30 minutes before sunset. Option number 3. 30 minutes after sunrise. The answer is option number 1. 30 minutes after sunset. Note: you must use your headlights beginning 30 minutes after sunset and ending 30 minutes before sunrise, or anytime when individuals or vehicles cannot be seen clearly for at least 1000 feet. Question: if you are involved in an injury accident in the city, you must notify option number 1. Law enforcement officer. Option number 2. You must make a written report of the crash and file it with the Texas Department of Transportation. Option number 3. All of above. The answer is option number 1. Law enforcement officer. Note: if you are involved in a crash that is not investigated by law enforcement officer and the crash has not resulted in injury or death of a person or damage to property of $1,000 or more, you must make a written report of the crash and file it with the Texas Department of Transportation no later than 10th day after the date of the crash. Question: a flashing yellow signal light means option number 1. Slow down and proceed with caution. Option number 2. Stop completely before entering the crosswalk and proceed with caution. Option number 3. Driver can proceed if it is safe to do so. The answer is option number 1. Slow down and proceed with caution. Question. You must always stop when option number 1. Emergency vehicles. Option number 2. A traffic officer tells you to. Option number 3. All of above. The answer is option number 3. All of above. Note. You must always stop at stop signs, red lights, crosswalks, pedestrians, for school buses and emergency vehicles, and also if a traffic officer tells you to. Question. Which of the following does alcohol affect? Option number 1. Recovery from the headlight glare. Option number 2. Reaction time. Option number 3. Judgment of distances. Option number 4. All of these choices. The answer is option number 4. All of these choices. Note. When a person drinks alcohol or uses drugs, they lose their judgment and their sight is impaired, causing slower reactions to sounds and the inability to judge another vehicle's speed. Question. You may lawfully allow an object to extend beyond the left side of your vehicle. Option number 1. 2 inches. Option number 2. 3 inches. Option number 3. 6 inches. The answer is option number 2. 3 inches. Note. Anything extending more than 3 inches beyond the left side or 6 inches beyond the right side of the body, running board or fenders of your car is considered unsafe and is not allowed on your vehicle. Question. At 20 miles per hour, the reaction distance is option number 1. 19. Option number 2. 44. Option number 3. 66. The answer is option number 2. 44. Note. For speed of 20 miles per hour, reaction distance is 44 feet. Brake distance of car is 19 feet. Total distance to stop is 63 feet. Question. Skidding of vehicles are most likely to be caused by option number 1. Worn tires that have minimal or damaged tread. Option number 2. Driving too fast on slippery roads. Option number 3. All of above. The answer is option number 3. All of above. Note. An automobile skids when its tires lose their grip on the road surface. If the car starts to skid, follow these safety tips. Number 1. Do not hit the brakes suddenly and hard. Take your foot off the gas pedal. Number 2. Turn your steering wheel in the direction of the skid. As you recover control, gently straighten the wheels. Question. If a child ran into the road 60 to 65 feet ahead of your vehicle, what is the highest speed from which you could stop before hitting him? Option number 1. 20 miles per hour. Option number 2. 30 miles per hour. Option number 3. 40 miles per hour. The answer is option number 1. 20 miles per hour. Note. For speed of 20 miles per hour, reaction distance is 44 feet. Brake distance of car is 19 feet. Total distance to stop is 63 feet. Question. The maximum daytime speed limit for passenger cars on a numbered highway is option number 1. 55 miles per hour. Option number 2. 60 miles per hour. Option number 3. 70 miles per hour. The answer is option number 3. 70 miles per hour. Question. At night, a driver should dim his headlights when an oncoming car comes within option number 1. 250 feet. Option number 2. 500 feet. Option number 3. 1000 feet. The answer is option number 2. 500 feet. Note. Use your low beam headlights when you are within 500 feet of an approaching vehicle. Question. If you damage an unattended vehicle, you must. Option number 1. Leave a note with your name and address on the parked vehicle. Option number 2. Call the nearest human society and police. Option number 3. Report the incident to authorities. The answer is option number 1. Leave a note with your name and address on the parked vehicle. Note. If you hit a parked vehicle, leave a note with your name, phone number and address in or securely attached to the vehicle or property you hit. Question. A posted speed limit of 55 miles per hour means. Option number 1. You may never drive faster than posted speed limits of 55 miles per hour. Option number 2. You may drive 55 miles per hour only under favorable conditions. Option number 3. As a safe driving practice, always drive slower than posted speed limit. The answer is option number 2. You may drive 55 miles per hour only under favorable conditions. Note. You may never drive faster than is safe for current conditions. Regardless of the posted speed limit, your speed should depend on number and speed of other vehicles on the road, condition of road surface, bicyclists or pedestrians on or crossing the roadway, and weather conditions. Under adverse conditions, you may be required to drive at slower than the posted speed limit. Question. If you run off the pavement, you should. Option number 1. Brake and try to bring the vehicle to stop, then carefully drive back onto the pavement. Option number 2. Stay straight ahead, slow down and gradually return to the pavement. Option number 3. Steer immediately onto the pavement using brake carefully. The answer is option number 2. Steer straight ahead, slow down and gradually return to the pavement. Note. If something causes you to swerve and run off the pavement, do not hit the brake suddenly and hard. Grip the steering wheel tightly and take your foot off the gas pedal. Use your brakes carefully and do not swing back onto the pavement. Wait until your speed is reduced. Check the traffic behind you and then carefully drive back onto the pavement. Question. When meeting a school bus which has stopped to load or unload children, you must. Option number 1. You may pass if no children are on the road. Option number 2. Stop and wait until the bus has started to move or you are signaled by the driver. Option number 3. You may pass if it is on the other side of a divided highway. The answer is option number 2. Stop and wait until the bus has started to move or you are signaled by the driver. Note. You must yield the right of way to school buses. Always drive with care when you are near a school bus. If you approach a school bus from either direction and the bus is displaying alternately flashing red lights, you must stop. Question. A vehicle should never be parked closer to a fire hydrant than. Option number 1. 10 feet. Option number 2. 15 feet. Option number 3. 20 feet. The answer is option number 2. 15 feet. Question. Any child under dash must be secured in a federally approved child car seat. Option number 1. 6 years old or under 4 feet 2 inches tall. Option number 2. 8 years old or under 4 feet 9 inches tall. Option number 3. 7 years old or under 4 feet 5 inches tall. The answer is option number 2. 8 years old or under 4 feet 9 inches tall. Note. Any child under 8 years old must be secured in a federally approved child car seat if occupying a seat in a vehicle equipped with a safety belt unless the child is more than 4 feet 9 inches tall. Question. When a vehicle in front of you stops to let a pedestrian pass in front of it, you should. Option number 1. Overtake the vehicle ahead if the signal turns green. Option number 2. Pass the vehicle ahead if the traffic allows. Option number 3. Stay in line and wait until the vehicle ahead proceeds. The answer is option number 3. Stay in line and wait until the vehicle ahead proceeds.